automatically. And the reason we add verses here and there after our daily prescribed sadhana is so that we get practiced automatically. Hardly even notice, because it becomes part of our repertoire naturally as we continue to say these verses. So that's why we add on verses. So we're always looking for relevant verses that are strategically placed, are well known, so that everyone expands their vocabulary in Krishna consciousness, able to reference the most important verses. Does that make sense? Chariya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payiche Keva. 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 Namashveshtam manamapi shakshi putram matrasarupam Rupam tasya drajamuruparim maturim goshtavatim Radha kurnam girivaramaho radhika madhavashnam Rapto yasya pratitya kripaya shurudham natosmi Hey Guru Gyanadani Nabandho Saranadata Kodanai Sindho Vrindavanasina Hitavatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachaya Hey Dinabandho Kodanai Sindho Kuru Prasada Mai Mandamure Lakshapanare Bahupapagade Tadpada Padme Sumatishta Krishna Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanya Radas Tatapi Jani Ami Kahare Prakash. I warned you. Guru Krishna Rupahai Shastrira Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karina Bhaktagane Shiksha Guru Keta Jani Krishna Sarup Antaryami Bhakta Eduiru Naivo Payantya Pachitim Kavyastavesha Brahmayushapi Krilam Ridhamudasmarantaha Yotar Bahistaduvratam Shubham Vadunvan Acharya Chaitya Bhakushaswagatim Yanati. Without serving a representative of Krishna, nobody can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachi Mata, the association of Srila Sarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatana Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund, the Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into dense myriad of sins. Therefore grace me with your mercy, so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is not different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the Supersoul and is the greatest devotee of the world. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they are endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. Bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. His lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all his lives. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful to us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over three shores. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagavati Sharma Bando Mui Savadana Sare Bhai Bhavato Riyaja Krishna Bhakti Hoy Jaha Krishna Bhakti Hoy Jaha Rane Roti Aishayu Samagati charane rate aise utama kote Not that tune though. Do the regular one. Jagannath Sutta Mahaprabhu Vishwambara Mayapura. Is that too low? Jagannath Sutta Mahaprabhu Vishwambara Mayapura Shashi Navati Pasudaka Shachi Sutta Goda Hari Nimai Sundar Namananda Chapala Balaka Matripa Damananda Vidyate Udipa Chao Rayer Mohan Satika Sarvasena Palika Krida Lakshmi Pati Bodha Udata Balaka Shisha Shira Putra Shobha Nivara Lakshmi Pati Purva Desha Sarva Krishna Dikhi Jai Karpaha Vishnu Priya Maria Nagare Nitayate Nagare Nitayate Arya Dharma Kala Gaya Pinada Vishisha Madhvachaya Sampradaya Krishna Namo Mata Krishna Tattva Avyapaka Nam Sankirtan Yuga Shivas Grihadam Nityananda Kanaka Nityananda Nityananda Sardeep Shashrada Simanta Vijay Gokuma Vihari Madhya Dhipa Lilasha Koladipa Pati Dhipa Maheshwa Janumoda Dhima Krudati Hera Vishwa Navakanda Ranganatha Jana Vijivana Jagai Narayani Kripa Sindhu Jivarani Anta Adhama Padiya Kandi Bhakta Doshaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Bharati Chara Pariraj Shiro Pati, Kir, Shor, Gopal Dashana, Sukiyati, Nirdandi Sanyasi Sarva, Kona Kripa Moy, Swananda, Swanandi, Sarva Sukha Shor, Purata Sundara, Vasudeva Chanakarta, Ramananda Sakravata, Mariana Kare, Sainite, Mariana Kare, Kandan, Dakshina Pavana Bhakti Grantha Udara, Arala Darshana Virata Granataka, Gajapati Sana Devananda Udara, Kuliya Prakashe Dushta Paruya Racha, Rupa Sana Kanu Bandhu Zira, Nayana Gare Nitya Nitya Nayana Gare Vrindavananandamurti Bala Bhadra Sangi Yavana Udari Bhakta Bala Velarangi Kashi Basi Sanyasi Udari Prema Dar Markata Vairagi Dandi Asardalata Bhaktena Tora Bhaktari Bhakta Pranata Haridas Gaguna Swarupa Jiva Narayana Kare Nitya Narayana Kare Nitya Pakati Gauranga Pai, Nadia Nagare Sai Jai Gaurani Pai, Gaurani Pai, Gaurani Pai, Jai Gaurani Pai. Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Stotra Shri Shriman His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Stotra Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavini Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogovina Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Sri Vrindavan Ki Jai Sri Mayapur Navadvipan Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki Jai Go Premanande Hari Go. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to some of the devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam class. Kunti Vacha Namaste Purusham Dvajam Ishvaram Prakriteparam Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahiravastitam Maya Javanikachami Apnadhoksa Jamadhyayam Nalakshise Mudadrisha Nato Natyadoro Yata Tata Paramahamsanam Muninama Malatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartam Katam Pashyemahi Sriyaha Shaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajabaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajandreye Yata Rishikesh Vimochaham Chasahatmaja Vibho Tvayaiva Natenam Muhurva Padgana Vishan Mahagne Purushara Darshanad Asat Sabaya Vanavasa Krishrata Vridhe Vridhe Neka Maharatasrato Dronyasrataschashna Hare Virakshita Vipara Samtuta Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Darshanam Yatsyad Apunar Bhavatarshanam Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir Idamana Marakpuman Naivarhatya Vidatum Vai Kama Kinshana Gocharam Namo Kinshana Viddaya Nivritta Guna Vrittaye Atma Ramaya Shantaya Kaivalya Pataye Namaha Manyetam Alamishanam Anadi Nidadandabum Samam Sharantam Sarvatra Bhutanam Yanvitah Kalihi Naveda Kaschid Bhagavam Shakirshitam Tabe Hamanasya Nrinam Vidambanam na yasya kaschid daitosti karichid dveshascha yasmin vishamamritirnidam janma karma cha vishvatman ajasya kartur atmanaha tiryan rishishu yadusu tad adyanta vidambanam gopyada de tvai kritaga siddhamatavad yate dashashu kalilanjana sambramaksham Vaktram Naniya Bhava Bhavanayasti Tasya Samam Vimohayati Bhirapi Yadbhibheti Kechit Ahur Ajanjatam Punya Shlokasya Kirtaye Yadu Priyasyan Vavaye Malayasya Vachandanam Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam yachito bhyagat ajastvam asya shemaya vadhaya cha suradusham bharavataranayanye bhuvonava ivodadau siddhantya buddhibharena jato hyatma bhuvartitaha bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karmabhi shravana smaranarhani kadishaniti kechana shinvanti gayanti granantya bhikshnasha smaranti nandanti tavehitam jana ta eva pashyantya charena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padam bhujam Apyadyanastvam swakrite hita prabho jihasasi switsurudu nijivina Isham nachanyad bhavatak padam bhujat Parayanam rajasu yojitam hasam Kevayam namarupabhyam yadubhi saha pandava Bhavato darshanam yarhi Rishikanam iveshitu Neyam shobhishyate tatra Yate danim gadadhara Tvatpadar ankita bhati Swalakshana valakshitai Ime jana pradasvriddha Supakwaushari viruddha Vanadri nadyudan vanto Yedante tava vikshitai Ata vishvesha vishvatman Vishvamurte swakeshu me Sneha pasham imam chinti Dridham pandushu vrishnishu Tvai me nanya vishaya Matir madhu patesakrit Ratim udvahatad adda Gange Vaugam Udanvati Shri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishna Vrisha Bhavani Drug Rajenya Vamsha Dahanana Pavarga Virya Govinda Godvija Surarti Haravatara Yogeshwara Kila Goro Bhagavan Namaste Sutuvacha Prityayetam kalapadai Parinanukalitodaya Mandam jahasa vaikunto Mohayan iva mayaya Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality, are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You're existing both within and without everything. Yet you're invisible to all, being beyond the range of limited sense perception. You are the eternal impactor, covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service under the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit, how then can we women know you perfectly? Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. O Rishikesha, master of the senses and Lord of lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashvatthama. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again, for seeing you means we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. My Lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions of material nature, mode nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and are the master of the monas. My Lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work though you're inactive, and that you take birth though you are the vital force of the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. My dear Lord, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly you were unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. And yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us? As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of a living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. O Gadadhara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave it, it will no longer be so. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you, without being diverted to anyone else. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You prider of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer my respectful obeisances. Do you know that new tune? Do you know the new tune to Jai Radha Madhava? Yeah, it's probably easy, right? Mm-hmm. Just try. There's a key sticking. Yeah. We have to fix, Govinda Prabhu, we have to fix all the harmoniums this weekend before Janmashtami. Is it possible? There's some sticking, even the best ones are sticking. Let's try. It's just a new tune. We haven't tried it yet. We haven't even rehearsed it yet, so don't mind. But I can't wait. It's like opening a present 2 days before Christmas. No, that's something wrong. It's in the room, sorry. So, if I may have a Srimad Bhagavatam, Volume 1, that's quite a request, isn't it? If you've ever been to see Srila Ramananda Roy's Bhagavatam that was written by hand, thank you, and it's all wound up in one, it's written by hand on palm leaves, and then when we saw it, it's in a roll, and how painstaking it was to copy that, but we can just simply request a Bhagavatam. That's one of the benedictions of the modern age. Can you turn to 1.835, please? Anybody know 1.835 off the top of your head? Huh? Bhavesmin kushamananam avidyakarma karmavi shravana smaranarhani karishan ivakechana. Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 2, hold on. Gopi Janabalabha Jaya Girivardhari Gopi Janabalabha Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Rajat Naranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Rajat Jaya Jashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana One more time. Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunda Vihari Jaya Vihari Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Third part, it's a little more difficult, but we're going to slow it down and just try it out. Remember, you heard it first here. It's not a new tune, but we're mixing two together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now it's all you. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. It goes up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, now all you. Hare Krishna, We'll give you the double part later. Anyway, we got a good start, right?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Sarasatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udiraye. Do we have the usual amount of light in here? It just seems a little darker than usual, doesn't it? Yes. Maybe we can have more light. That tune, the first part of it I heard at Uddhavakund when we were going on Parikram, and I recorded it. And then later I brought it to my music teacher, and then he said, oh, this goes with that. So he pulled that last part from Kadambakananda Maharaj's, you know, he fills up a stadium with his voice, and he has these grandiose tunes. So he said, same scale, let's put them both together. That's why I said it's old, but it's new in the sense that it's a combined, two combined tunes. One from Uddhavakund and one from Kadambakananda Maharaj. So we've got today the prayers of Queen Kunti at 1:8:35. And here she says, and yet others say that you appear to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshiping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asserts that he appears in every millennium just to reestablish the way of religion. The way of religion is made by the Supreme Lord. No one can manufacture a new path of religion, as is the fashion for certain ambitious persons. The factual way of religion is to accept the Lord as the supreme authority, and thus render service unto him in spontaneous love. A living being cannot help but render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great, and the living beings are subordinate to him. Therefore, the duty of the living beings is just to serve him only. Unfortunately, the illusioned living beings, out of misunderstanding only, become servants of the senses by material desire. This desire is called avidya, or nescience. And out of such desire, the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment centered about a perverted sex life. He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmigrating into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Unless, therefore, one is beyond the boundary of this nescience, one cannot get free from the threefold miseries of material life. That is the law of nature. The Lord, however, out of his causeless mercy, because he is more merciful to the suffering living beings than they can expect, appears before them. I'm going to read that again, it's too nice. Here we go. The Lord, however, out of his causeless mercy, because he is more merciful to the suffering living beings than they can expect, appears before them and renovates the principles of devotional service comprised of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshiping, praying, cooperating, and surrendering unto him. Please look up renovate in the etymological dictionary, renovate. Adoption of all of the above-mentioned items, or any one of them, can help a conditioned soul get out of the tangle of nescience and thus become liberated from all material sufferings created by the living being illusioned by external energy. This particular type of mercy is bestowed upon the living being by the Lord in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As a bhave smin. Bhave means in the material creation. Asmin, this, Krishamananam, means of those who are suffering from avidya, nescience. Kama, desire, karma pi, by execution of fruit of work, shravana, hearing, smarana, remembering, arhani, worshipping Krishna, may perform iti, thus kechana. And yet others say that you appear to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls may suffer from material pangs, might take advantage and gain liberation. We offer our respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to all the disciplined succession, and to all the assembled devotees. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhavedevacha patitanam bhavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Now you have to do a little work. Ask relevant questions pertaining to this verse that enhance the conversation. If they don't meet that criteria, we'll eject you from the classroom and you'll have to go clean the parking lot. Okay. Actually, that's a privilege. So I should have offered that because you'll probably do it. All right, go for it. Relevant questions that enhance the conversation.
Guru Maharaj, in the morning, in the Japasika, we were mentioning how we should always remember that our service is the only thing, that's the only thing which we have. So my question is that in our life, we come across different situations where we get distracted and get enamored by all the disturbances which we have. So how can we always keep our focus on the point that our service is our main thing?
Well, one way is to remember the path of the great saints. And we get naturally in this world enlivened by others who are doing things that we admire. And people take after the ways of those that they admire, whether it's in academics or whether it's in athletics or the arts in some way. And the path of success in devotional service, to stay focused, is to study the ways of the saints and become attached to them. As Rishabhadev said, that the doorway to spiritual life opens when we become more and more attached to the saintly devotees. Saintly means tasma gurum prapadyeta jignashush shabde paritanishnatam. We find those who are swimming in or have taken a dip, Prabhupada said, in the ocean of transcendental knowledge, and shabde paritanishnatam brahman upashamashrayam, they're fully fixed in Brahman. We can become inspired and awestruck even, how does somebody do such a thing? And later on the demigods will say in the 10th canto, 2nd chapter, when they're praying to Lord Krishna in the womb, Tvayam bujaksha kila satvadamni samadhi naveshit cheta saike pada potena mahakritena kurvanti govatsa padam bababdim. They say, surely the way of success in devotional service is to focus on following in the footsteps of the Mahat, the great souls. And that is their recommendation. So we can stay focused by becoming enamored of and appreciative of those who are doing more service than us, and try to walk in their footsteps, try to get their association and try to follow their ways. And when by association they give us some service also to do alongside them, it's naturally absorbing and fulfilling. So that's one way, is to be with the devotees and always try to follow them as much as possible. Yes.
I have the etymology for the
yes,
word
please.
Renovate. Renovate is a verb which means to render as good as new or restore to a good condition. It comes from Old Latin, which means re, again, and nover, make new.
To renovate what does it say in the purport?
In the purport, it says, it talks about how the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, appears before everybody to renovate the principles of devotional service.
Yeah. This is one of the... Yes, please.
I also had a question
Oh,
regarding
good.
this. So in the purport, it talks about the principles of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, cooperating, and surrendering. And in the next sentence, Srila Prabhupada writes that adoption of all the above mentioned items or any one of them can help a conditioned soul. So I was wondering if it may be difficult to incorporate all aspects or the principles. So is there a good starting point out of the mentioned principles?
Yes, the best starting point is hearing and chanting. And those are the first two. They're also mentioned as foundational, as you know, Shrinvatam Swa Katha Krishna. If you hear sufficiently, then Prabhupada said, then you'll be able to also chant. It's a miraculous aspect of being a human. Whatever you listen to, you'll be able to recall and then speak about. So it's quite natural. And once Prabhupada said, God helps those who help themselves, and to help oneself means to place oneself in front of transcendental sound vibration. Even if you feel slightly unwilling, if somehow or other you have the intelligence to plop yourself down somewhere where there's Krishna Katha going on and just don't move. There's a way in which it acts as a balm and it helps to transform us just by hearing. That's good use of intelligence. Find where Krishna Katha is going on. Prabhupada said this morning early when I was listening to a lecture that hearing Bhagavatam or speaking Bhagavatam was also Kirtan, he said. And so find that place and try to be there. Even if you don't have the inclination to hear, if you sit there long enough and use your intelligence to stay in that vibration, then it'll start to take effect. And then, like the prostitute who came to interrupt Haridas Thakur, she was innocent, she was just put up to it by somebody who was envious of him, and she sat there, and after listening to him chant, she started going, Hari, 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 and then Hari Krishna, 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 Hari, Hari. And then it was so infectious that she became attached. So there's a turning point in the association of devotees that if we're able to hear. So that's the main thing. Try to add it to your diet and don't become anemic by missing hearing Krishna Katha every day. There's ways, for instance, as I mentioned this morning, Prabhupada said, get practiced automatically, one of his phrases. And if you set up your environment so the first thing you do in the morning is turn on some transcendental sound vibration so that it's going throughout your environment, you'll notice that even if the mind had been in some far-flung place while you were sleeping and it started churning when you woke up thinking, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix that? What am I going to say to that guy? Are they going to fire me? It goes on and on and on. That's a level of the mind that's always turning like a ceiling fan. It never stops. And if your mind can then catch on to some transcendental sound vibration instead, and you'll notice that suddenly you feel some relief from it, then you're in a safe space. You've reached safety. And if you practice doing that, be vigilant about staying in the vibration wherever you go, you'll notice that you feel protected. When we were in Toronto last weekend, we had 4 spots in different areas of the city where the devotees had so expertly arranged a Harinam party and a book table so we could be there and be in the proximity of the chanting. And we noticed in one place, we had chanting and book distribution going on. Practically, we had taken the chanting for granted because, as everybody knows, you get absorbed in just talking to people. But then there was a slight disruption, which I won't go into, and the chanting stopped temporarily. And that's when we noticed it, that it was suddenly the bubble had popped and we were exposed to the sounds and all the vibrations of Toronto. And we should feel uncomfortable when the vibration stops and have that angst that keep the transcendental vibration going. So that's one of the mainstays of our process. If you just stick to hearing, then it's natural that you'll be able to speak it later. For instance, we do all this memorization of verses. And maybe Anshu, you could tell your experience. Anshu was up in Toronto not so long ago, and he had joined with the Bhakti Academy, which is this really wonderful program that Kalakanta Prabhu of Gainesville has started, and it's kind of a franchise. It goes out to different places. In a Mangalartik there are at least 50 young people there. Many of them live in the ashram, not that many, but some come from outside also. But there's a regular full program there. And maybe you could just say what your experience was because of your hearing and chanting, how it manifested there from your hearing, manifested into some chanting. Don't mind, but please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. I had a really nice time. I stayed in the ashram this year for about 5 or 6 weeks. For your question specifically, they gave the opportunity to most of the ashram residents to give Bhagavatam classes and other classes. Just to each other. So they gave us the opportunity to. They just tell us you're giving class on this day and you have like a day or so to prepare. And I noticed that having the repertoire of verses that we've been learning over the years has really helped for doing something like that, because I didn't have to scramble as much to find content. Things just naturally flowed together over the years because we've been learning verses together. And then also for answering questions, it became much easier as well to have substantiation for whatever I'm presenting.
Anything more? Just the visceral experience of sitting there and then the verses were available?
Yeah, I was really noticing Krishna's mercy and just really helping me. Like if I got a question and then I thought, oh, how can I answer this well? A verse just would come to my mind. And I thought that because of how much time we've been spending learning these verses, it really helps answer people's questions.
The reps count, don't they?
Yes.
Reps are important. Vayura nilam amritam atedam bashmantam shariram om kratos smara kritam smara kratos smara kritam smara. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes. Let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices. And because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. There's a way in which everything comes to bear in various circumstances in our life. And whatever we've been doing up to that very second, it comes pouring out. And the Sri Upanishad doesn't mind giving us a stark reminder that this is going to happen when the body lurches to a stop, or it coasts to a stop, either way. And then whatever you've cultivated, whatever you've heard, that's going to come to the forefront. And if you've been listening to, I don't know, if you want me to sing some silly songs, I can do that and blah, 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 blah. Then that's going to come out, and the feelings that we've developed for the temporary world will also be there. And they'll just come out with their own force. Yang yang vapis, varan bhavam, tajat yante kalevram. When Krishna doesn't mind telling us either. He's very straightforward. He just says, look, when you give up your body, everything that's in there is going to come out, and it's going to push you to the next place. So it's a practical experience. It's an amazing machine, the human body, that if you spend time, do your reps, even if you think, oh, this is working, I'm not crying and rolling on the ground, you're doing your reps. It's going in, and you hear over and over again. You chant over and over again. And transform yourself. Just like you can transform your body if you put your mind to it. It takes a lot of work, and you got to really measure it. And same thing, devotional service, we're transforming ourselves spiritually. You want to just have everything solidified inside so that you can be of more service in this lifetime, and then for your own good, when you're asked unceremoniously or with a little bit of a lead time invitation that you please go now, then you feel confident that I've done my reps. And, that sounds a little pedantic or just mechanical, but it's a fact that when even if it's mechanical, we take advantage of the hearing process. There's some transformation that takes place, and we'll be able to call upon it in all different circumstances in this life. So don't let anybody out hear you in a day. Do you understand? Yeah, because sometimes people say, nobody's going to outwork me today. Don't let anybody out hear you. Just arrange your life so you take advantage of every opportunity to hear and make that your mainstay. And then it's automatic that by hearing, then the chanting comes out and the recall is there. And not just in this circumstance we're in life, walking around, but also at the very end, Ante Narayana Smriti, it'll all be there for you. Just like Gajendra, somehow he had to take an extra stop, become an elephant, because some sage got annoyed and said blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, he was an elephant, but he still had that momentum from the hearing because he had painstakingly learned verses. And then that set of verses just came out when he was an elephant. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. I'll give shorter answers because there's devotees on the board. Vaikuntha Nayaka, Shankari Kaur, fantastic. Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu had a question regarding the next verse, where Kunti Maharani says that those who continuously hear, chant, or repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, will certainly see your lotus feet, which alone stops repeated birth and death. So I was wondering if you can comment on take pleasure in others doing so, if you can.
Voltaire once said that when you appreciate the good qualities in others, then they become yours. The opposite is when you're envious of others, then you don't get anything except your own burning sensation from the envy you have in your heart. Prabhupada mentions in the Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, 31st verse in the purport that there's a way in which that even if you can't do devotional service the way you want to, if you've ever had that experience that I want to be at a higher level, but I'm not at a higher level, I'm at my level, I can do what I can do. Prabhupada said if you don't resent that principle, and part of resenting that principle is you see other people doing better than you, and then you think, oh, those Mangalarti going 16 round chanting, who do they think they're? They're not really getting a taste, they're just like faking it, Whatever, if you do that, then you don't get it. But if you honor all living beings, and especially devotees who are able to do more than you. When you see somebody hearing and they relish and they just, and you think, I worship you, I offer my obeisances, which is what Rupa Goswami says to do. Tanama Rupa Charitadis, fifth, 5. Krishneti yasagiritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranati bish. Just offer pranams to those who are chanting Hare Krishna. Even somebody accidentally says it, it's like, oh, sadhu, sadhu. And then if somebody's really leaning in and that they're dedicated to their life, they take time, get down, offer your obeisances. And if somebody's obviously advanced because they have these qualities that nobody else can get in the material world, even by 1 million self-help classes, and reading 1,000 self-help books. A relative, I helped to clean out their apartment. And they had pretty much messed up their whole life. And then I went in and we were helping clean out their apartment. And it was self-help books, self-help tapes. apparently didn't penetrate. You can't get it unless Krishna blesses you. And if you see somebody blessed, then he says, try to get their association, try to serve them. So that's we honor the devotees. We try to appreciate, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grananti. There's a way in which you're catching on with your appreciation. And somehow or other, like I've seen it before. I've seen those who appreciate others, like in Los Angeles. Who's the devotee? Who's just like Jayananda? Ratnabhushan, right. Ratnabhushan, and then he had a protege. There was a younger devotee there. I think his name was Gornitai. Gornitai. He wasn't initiated, but he was a kid. And when he saw Ratnabhushan, he said, I want to be like him. So anytime you see Ratnabhushan, you'd see Gornitai. You just follow him everywhere, wear the same clothes. If he was sweeping the floor, Gornitai was sweeping the floor. If he was fixing a car, Gornitai was under the car fixing the car. And you could just see, he's starting to look a lot like Ratnabhushan. Talk like Ratnabhushan. And so we emulate, when we try to emulate those who are doing it, and we just appreciate them. Like people appreciate, this is sort of a repetition of what I said before, they appreciate athletes. They wear their jersey around. And I see people in the Bay Area, it's like Montana, like, what's your thing? I don't know, but I love Joe Montana, he's cool. So that's our tendency, and in fact, when we become more and more advanced in devotional service, that kind of appreciation is indicated in the verse, Tanama rupa charitari sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasini yoja tishtan vraje tanaruragi jananugami kalam nayedaki limityu padesha saram. You start to appreciate the service of devotees in Goloka, in Vraja. They're like, oh, if I could only serve like that. And then Tishtam Vraje Tananuragi, you start to really track them. You got your jersey on, Subala. Hey, you got your Subala jersey on. I'm like, yeah, Subala, cool, man. And then this Grananti, you catch on to them because what's flowing from them is like, I resonate with that. That's my ideal in life. You can find somebody, that's my ideal. I want to be like that. You can catch it. Catch it with your appreciation. So it's such a sweet part of our devotional practice, this etiquette through which we try to appreciate everybody. And some people, we don't have to force ourselves to appreciate everybody because somebody might have different mood, but we appreciate that they're devotees, they're chanting, and maybe we appreciate them from a distance, further and further away. And other people, we come closer and closer, and we try to serve them and try to emulate what they do. Okay, that wasn't a short answer. Yes, we're getting up there to you, Vaikuntha Prabhu, and you're next, actually.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just remembering for previous, like you said, whatever you appreciate appreciates. So.
It grows, yeah.
Maharaj, I just wanted to thank you for instilling all of us for learning these prayers. And for me, I could resonate that, okay, this is my level. Always my mind tells me that I cannot learn shlokas so much. So I paired up with a friend, devotee friend, and she and I, we were like, let's do this together. And after 2 or 3 days, I think Yash Prabhu again sent that, it's not just shlokas, it's reading the purports as well. And I was like, okay, this is something that I can really do. Just go deeper. So I try to internalize these prayers. And while I was reading the prayers, like you were mentioning how these reps manifest to hear chanting, I started deriving parallels from Mother Kunti's prayers of how Mother Kunti would pray to Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna, and how a sadhaka would pray to the holy names. And yes, today I was listening to your japa talk while driving here. Every verse, actually, from every verse, I just made some notes, but every verse has some mood of praying to the holy name. But verse 25, which usually, when I speak to some of my friends, some devotees, hear some lectures, they're like, oh, this verse we gloss over, Vipada Shantu Tatshasha, that verse, and because we don't want Krishna to give us calamities. But I was like, okay, let me just study this verse very deep and see how Mother Kunti's mood was and how my mood should be while praying to the holy name. And I'll just very quickly go through what my realizations were. Mother Kunti was embracing challenges and opportunities for remembrance, so she was praying for calamities repeatedly as they were bringing her closer to Krishna. And a sadhaka, which is me, I can adopt this attitude by praying to the holy name for difficulties, even if that difficulties is strengthening my remembrance to Krishna and intensely bringing me closer to him. Second, I think you mentioned this in today's Japa talk, dependence on Krishna alone. So her prayer was very profound because she was depending on Krishna. I'm not there yet, but through my chanting, through praying to the holy name, I can pray for complete dependence on the holy name, recognizing that the holy name is non-different from Krishna. And there are some more. Seeing calamities with gratitude. Even there's one more verse where Mother Kunti is recounting that poison and the asat sangha and all of that, and she's not recounting due to some distress. She is trying to recollect all those as a gratitude, and we should also have a gratitude journal for the holy name, that you've done so much in my life, you've brought me until this point in my life. And again, yearning for Krishna's presence in all circumstances. She's praying to Krishna again and again to show her deep yearning. And a sadhaka can also pray to the holy name similarly for asking the holy name that may I always be connected to you regardless of anything. I have a very detailed notes that I've made, but thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
I recall the song by Srinivasacharya, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako. So in this song, he talks about Shastra Sunipuna. This means to become a genius in Shastra. And the difference, there are several definitions of the levels of devotional service. In general, there's Kanishna, Madhyama, and Uttama Adhikari. The various Shastras present those levels in different ways. But one of the ways that it's presented is that the Kanishta Adhikari has weak faith and also doesn't know Shastra. It just has a sentiment, maybe cultural momentum, just likes Krishna, likes to come to the temple, Hare Krishna. And then the Madhyama Adhikari has strong faith, but doesn't know Shastra. So can't back up things with Shastra or logic. The Uttama Adhikari has strong faith, just like the Madhyam, but also has Shastra Sunipana, which means, oh yeah, that goes with this goes with this. It's a universe of knowing the entire canon of the Vaishnava scriptures, and has also heard so sufficiently that he or she has a logical answer to all things. Just a good example is Vijay Prabhu, who the other day, can you recall, did I send it to you? What he sent? Can you explain how he used logic to turn somebody around and take a book? Yeah. This is an example of someone who's heard sufficiently, realized sufficiently, and is able to recall something on the spot.
The title is An Agreeable Atheist. This is Vijay Prabhu speaking. I was distributing books in downtown Mountain View, a mile from the ISV temple, when a man came to my table. I showed him the Bhagavad Gita, but he said, "Sorry, not interested. I'm an atheist." "Well," I said, "if you're intelligent, you're not an atheist." "Oh, how is that?" "There's billions of things you don't know, right?" "True. So one of the billions of things you don't know is whether God exists or not." "Now that you put it that way, you're right. I don't know." "So you're not an atheist, you're an agnostic." I think you're right. And this book, Bhagavad Gita, may answer the questions you have." "Okay, I'll take it." He gave a nice donation, and hopefully, by reading the Gita, he'll understand that God is alive and well.
This type of assimilation of philosophy, logic of God, how the Shastra goes together, the epistemology, all of that, when you have it all tight, you've got your at least master's or PhD, and you're able to recall the most important verses and know how they fit together and so forth. Then you start having this extremely potent ability to talk about Krishna, and this is one of the great joys of life, is to be fully absorbed. Shabde pari tranishnatam. This is the verse says, this is the qualification of someone who could teach other people and affect their hearts, as they've assimilated all of it. So our repetition of verses, learning them, and also taking time to read all of Prabhupada's books. Because if you don't read all of Prabhupada's books, you'll go insane. Vaikuntanayaka Prabhu, please go ahead. Great to see you.
Dandavat Pranam Guru Maharaj, all Krishna Prabhupada, all bless to you. Maharaj, this is a question I had on the point you mentioned about hearing. So I have observed that there is the transcendental sound and there is mundane sound. My observation is that I could hear for Kirtan for 1 hour or a class for 1 hour, but I could then by chance I hear a jingle, an ad jingle for some 5 seconds. The rest of the day, it's the ad jingle that keeps coming to my mind. The effect that the transcendental sound has on me seems to be disproportionately small to the effect that mundane sound has on me. If this is the case, like, what is the hope for me to remember Krishna at the time of death, right? Like, it's the dice seem to be cast against me, right? So if you could please.
Well, we have to irrigate. There are so many jingles, and by irrigation, they can be expunged from our system. Sometimes when you get some kind of contamination in your blood, they say, keep drinking water and irrigate. Naturally, there's a way that these things pass out in due course of time. If we increase the amount that we hear about Krishna and associate with devotees, we'll tip the scales. So we should try to do that. We should have a plan to tip the scales. Don't give in and just stay on a plateau, but really try to develop so we get to the point that we prefer to hear about Krishna, and the other kind of sound vibrations are either we can relate them to Krishna in that we hear them and say, oh yeah, that's Maya. There's a recording of Prabhupada on 26 2nd Avenue, and it's hot, there's no air conditioning, the doors are open, it's a summer day and Prabhupada's giving a class, and in the background you can hear an ice cream truck coming. You know, they play those, whatever it is, and the devotees were kind of smiling or something, and Prabhupada said, wait, what is that? What is that? They said, it was an ice cream truck, Prabhupada, he's selling ice cream. He said, this is Maya. That's Maya calling you. And so when we have an awareness, vidyam cha, yes, side by side, we're seeing, oh, this is Krishna, that's Maya. This is the power of it. And so it's stay the course. In every discipline, there is a separation between those who are doing it as a hobby or casually and those who have decided to really go the distance and come to the next level. So that's what we want to do. We have this little laboratory here, and we're using it for that purpose, to come together and keep pushing ourselves so that we can come to this level of solidified devotional service where we're bringing in all the elements that are available to us so we can become stronger and stronger, right? We'd like to rock the world, wouldn't we? Say yes. Yeah, we will rock ourselves, and then we together rock the community, and we can go on rocking everything from inside out. So it's a great impetus to just try to make incremental increases. And also, the way that these little sound vibrations of Maya are sticky are a reminder to us, don't mess around. If you dabble, I can see these videos, some deer is right by the water and they're taking water, and all of a sudden a crocodile comes out of nowhere and just... That's what Maya is like. And it's not a plaything. Prabhupada said, you have to really become more and more aware of the fact that if I dabble in Maya and think, oh, it's no big deal, you can remember those little jingles. I mean, they come unsought and they keep after us. And we can remember that Maya is sticky. Don't mess around. It's not like you can have one foot in both worlds and then become more and more serious. Try to transfer all your assets to the spiritual world. Yes, Srivaspana Prabhu. Would we kindly pass a microphone back to? And coming up, Shankari Kaur, just coming to you next.
Vaikunt Nayak Prabhu, the die may be cast against you, but you have taken shelter of Vaisesika Prabhu, so the ultimate fate is with you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Shankari Kaur, good to see you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my most respectful obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. Just stealing the opportunity to get your association, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, just a simple realization. You were talking about the reps, and I was just thinking that every Balaram Jayanti, every Janmashtami, every festival, we kind of hear the same pastimes. Somebody may say, oh, why to go to the temple? It's the same story. I've heard it 1,000 times by now. But I was just thinking, when we lean into listening to those kathas, every single time that we hear it, new details pop up, or we start paying attention to different details, and those different details lead to different realizations. And every single time there is a new realization, the soul gets fresh kind of rejuvenation and nourishment. And it just gets us deeper and deeper into our sadhana, and that leads to the progress of our sadhana, and we get connected to and attached to Krishna. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah, thank you.
Importance of it.
That's an important point, because it's what we're doing is not rote, but there's, as I said this morning, it's namachintamani. There's a way in which we're transformed by touching the sound vibration, and that there's an opening that comes where nectar comes out from the process of chanting Hare Krishna. And that happens, for instance, when we go to the Dham. There's ways in which we become familiar with the sound vibration and the mood of the residents there, running around Govardhan Hill or being up early, the whole city for Ekadashi. And there's some little jolt you get in your heart. As I described it once when I was there, you're going around on Govardhan Parikram, and it's as if there's a spiritual electricity that runs around the whole Parikram marg. And our feet are like those connectors that you see sometimes in San Francisco. They might have removed them all, but it was all an electrical system where the train, it hooks up to these wires. Seems like an awkward system, but in any case, it's like that. It comes up through your feet, and then there's a sense you get of attachment to the places where Lord Chaitanya did his pastimes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur talked about that. And we get attached coming to Janmashtami. Bless the people's hearts who come here. You see it every year. It's an impetus for us when we see these thousands of people that come here to see Krishna on his birthday. And I think, like, God, I wish I had that kind of appreciation. And also, I always notice at Ratha Yatra, there's some devotees who live far away, or because of their lifestyle, they're not so connected, but they come on Ratha Yatra, and to them, it's an oasis. And you see it in their eyes. And the more we associate with Krishna in the various different ways, then the more we can become like that, where we just have a natural inclination because we've been there, we've had the feeling, we've gotten that jolt at Janmashtami or wherever it is, and then we feel it for ourselves, and we become naturally attracted to all the different processes. We're going to have to wind down because today's on a tight schedule, getting ready, but we still have 5 minutes left, which we're going to do. Speaking of repetition, we're going to try our tune again. Because we're just warming up, we'd like to offer it to Krishna on his birthday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Dasa, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande Hari Om. What a joyous time. We're looking forward to hearing chanting all weekend long and serving. More menial, the better. If anyone wants to become free from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mara, Moha, and Matsarya, all in one evening, just try to find the most menial service that you possibly can. Cleaning toilets, clean the parking lot, pick up litter, whatever it may be, you'll find that all of those qualities just fly out the window and you never know where they went. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Panchatattva, please give us the spiritual strength to take advantage of everything Krishna is giving us, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grananti, so that we can have a highly successful life in the estimation of the acharyas, so that as a community we can give back what Srila Prabhupada gave us to Silicon Valley in such a way that people are deeply moved and impressed and would like to take up Krishna consciousness as a lifestyle. And please let us also rock the world, and on top of it, beat India. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in part or in whole. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And now we have the main part of our program today, which is the youth who will be giving special presentation. So let's welcome Risheshwari Leela, who's doing an amazing job in bringing children up to be Uttama Adhikaris. Hare Krishna. Another donation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful Saturday morning Bhagavatam class. Really, it uplifts us to start our weekend with this and to think of the next 4 days of bliss of just discussing in the association of Vaishnavas, glorifying our lordships, glorifying the devotees, and glorifying Srila Prabhupada. I feel very honored to present our youth president.
Hey, attend Bhagavatam class.
Well, if we thought that it's over, we are now awake again. So I'd like to introduce you Soumya Singh, who is the daughter of Gauravarna Prabhu and Priyasaki Mataji. She has a very special family connected with Mathura. So she has that in her genes, as they say it, isn't it? So it's been an honor teaching her for so many years. And the whole family is so dedicated and sincere. We'll hear her speak. Actually, this is her third or fourth time, but first time in front of you, Maharaj. So today's topic is double dose of mercy. So we'll delve into disapproved but not disowned in the context of Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Today I'll be presenting on the 6th chapter of Disapproved but Not Disowned by Gaurang Darshan Das, which is called the Double Dose of Mercy. First, let's First, let's look at a classic example of the misuse of power. After 100 celestial years of standing on one leg, Hiranyakashipu was finally able to please Lord Brahma, but unable to bestow immortality. The demon asked Lord Brahma that he may not be killed by any man or animal, inside or outside, at daytime or nighttime, or by any weapon or person. With the power of this benedictions, he conquered and gained lordship of all directions, abodes, and planets. He also made everyone worship him and made the demigod bow down to his feet. However, in spite of enjoying all kinds of sense gratification, he was always dissatisfied due to uncontrolled senses. Out of all sinful activities, the most offense to devotees is the most severe. God will tolerate anything, but never violence towards his devotees. All the boons received by an offender become invalid as soon as a devotee is hurt by them. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons, and the best of them all was Prahlad Maharaj, who was the reservoir of all divine qualities. Prahlad had developed an unflinching devotion to Lord Vishnu ever since he was in his mother's womb. But as soon as he was 5 years old, his father sent him to the school where the children of demons were taught politics and diplomacy by Shanda and Amarka. One day, when Prahlad Maharaj was coming back from school, Hiranyakashipu asked him what he had learned from his teachers that day. Ignoring all the topics taught by his materialistic teachers, Prahlad Maharaj repeated the teachings of Narad Muni, his real teacher, and described the 9 processes of bhakti and devotion to his father. Hearing this, Hiranyakashipu ordered all his servants to kill the boy. They tried to kill him many ways. They put him in a pit of fire, they put him in a room full of poisonous snakes, and even threw him off a cliff. However, Prahlad never got hurt a single bit. Prahlad never got hurt because a faithful devotee is always confident of Lord's protection, so they don't worry. Perplexed, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad what the source of his confidence and strength was. Prahlad replied that the source of all of this is Lord Vishnu, who is everywhere at all times to protect his devotees. Hiranyakashipu then pointed to a pillar and asked if his Lord was there as well. Convinced about the all-pervading nature of the Lord, Prahlad confidently said yes. To prove the words of Hiranyakashipu then struck the pillar with his fist, and to prove the words of his pure devotee true, the Supreme Lord Vishnu appeared from the pillar in the form of Narsimha, half man and half lion. A furious battle ensued between the Lord and the demon, and after enjoying the battle for a while, Narsimha killed Hiranyakashipu on his lap at the time of sunset on the doorway and with his nails, thus not violating any of the benedictions that Hiranyakashipu received from Brahma. Demons may trouble devotees and hate God, but God and his devotees are always kind, even to the demons. After killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narasimhadev sat on his throne to show that his devotee was fortunate in any condition of life. God never disowns his devotee. The demigod celebrated Lord Narasimha's victory and offered him various prayers, but none of those prayers seemed to please the Lord's anger. Brahma then requested Prahlad to appease the Lord. Prahlad then prepared himself to offer prayers to the best of his ability for his own perfection. Prahlad had witnessed his father's material wealth and power become vanquished by the Lord Narasimhadev within just a moment. Prahlad then requested the Lord to show mercy on his father and to purify him. And then the Lord replied that he had already been purified. The double dose of mercy is that since Prahlad didn't disown his cruel father who caused him to suffer so much, instead he requested the Lord to excuse him. Similarly, God and godly people disapprove ungodly behavior and may even punish the people that do so, but they don't disown them, for their hearts are always filled with compassion. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Somi, that was amazing because you were able to encapsulate the feeling and the main lessons of the entire pastime. It was easy to listen to and content rich. It was very satisfying. I especially liked your choice of the pictures. Did you find those yourself?
Yes, Maharaj.
It's so nice to see the different iterations of paintings of Lord Nrsingadev, and they were appropriate to the scene, and it was nicely laid out. Really liked it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Any other? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering, and this might be a little bit over what the presentation had covered, but you had mentioned that Hiranyakashipu had tried to kill Prahlad in so many different ways. I was wondering if there's any significance in the different methods in which he chose.
There was the one where I don't know the actual significance of it, but I know that there is many ways. And I know that when he was thrown into the pit of fire, he sent him with another person who was in the castle, who also went in the pit of fire with Prahlad Maharaj, but Prahlad Maharaj didn't get burnt, but she did, I think.
Krishna, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any insights on that? Any insights on that different ways in which he was trying to kill?
I don't have any specific knowledge of commentary on it, but I have recently, when we were discussing another Leela, and I said I didn't know anything, Sachendra Krishna then, a day later, found some commentary and said, oh yeah, here it had some significance. The one thought that came into my mind, although we may not see it, there's probably some significant, there is significance to everything that happens in the Leela, and it's yet to be discovered. But I can't give more insight into the meanings behind those.
It's a great question, Prabhu. I'm sure all our Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and Bhakti Vedanta students will ponder on that question. Any other reflections or questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for the nice presentation. I think I didn't understand the word double dose, why the double dose is used there.
So it's called the double dose of mercy because Hiranyakashipu, even though he was a very bad person and demon, he was surrounded with Prahlad Maharaj, who was followed in the Bhakti Yogi of Narad Muni, and also Prahlad Maharaj's mother, who was Hiranyakashipu's wife, was also a good person, not like Hiranyakashipu. And he was also killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, so basically he was purified. So that's like the double dose of mercy because he got purified in different ways.
Okay, thank you.
That's a potent realization we learn from Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, how the association of devotees and the Lord's mercy, they act even for those who are, against the Lord himself. So what to speak of those who are trying to follow the path? Yes.
I always appreciate that section of the Leela where, and as you brought out, that the Lord sat on that throne appreciating his devotee. And in the act of tearing out Hiranyakashipu's heart, there's some commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur where the Lord's observing the demon's heart and saying, how did you allow all these impurities to come in this heart? Even as he's eviscerating him. And that juxtaposition that you brought out in your talk, the double dose of mercy, is so charming about the pastime because even as he's ripping his heart out, he's sensing how this is actually my devotee. It's just his devotion's been obscured by these impurities in the heart. So you hit that. You didn't mention that point. I'm just bringing out that it's parallel with many of the other points you brought out in the title of it, Double Dose of Mercy, even amidst a seemingly ghastly pastime of somebody's father being ripped up, where Prabhupada said, what would you do if your father was being killed? And Prabhupada said, Prahlad's there saying, nice boy, good work. It's very interesting how you brought that part to bear, as it's great compassion that he has even as he's killing. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Oh yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. It's actually not a question, but there's something I heard in lecture before. So, Prahlad Maharaj also had a previous life, and this is mentioned in Narsimha Puran actually, that in a previous incarnation he was a Brahmana, and then he had gone to a Vishnu Mandap, a dilapidated, abandoned Vishnu Mandap, like temple, to meet his girlfriend, basically. They had a fight. And then he basically stayed at that place the entire night in a very, in an awake manner. So he fasted the whole night. And that night was Narsimha Chaturdashi, basically. So because of that punya, he actually became Prahlad Maharaj.
Thank you so much. I think I'll stop here and thank you, Soumya, for bringing out another wonderful pastime. It's a very deep pastime. As we know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeatedly wanted to hear the pastimes of Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. And we're very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for opening the doors of the spiritual world right here in the material world. Without his mercy, without his translations, we wouldn't be anywhere. Trying to even appreciate from a distance is a great mercy. So even if I am a new devotee, please don't feel that this is something that is far above and far beyond my reach. By Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada's translations, we can access these pastimes and layer by layer understand the deep meanings of this and relish the love that the Lord has for us. So with that, I'll stop here and move on to the next part of the program. Thank you.
The next part of our program appears to be a grain ceremony, first grain ceremony. I say appears because I think we'll do the announcements after the grain ceremony so that we don't delay much longer. Could someone produce a baby, however? We'll need the baby for the grain ceremony. And as a preamble to the ceremony, we could please have a little Ma mantra, because no ceremony has any meaning without the Hare Krishna mantra. And especially if you can do the double parts now, just as a warm-up for our ceremony. We have a baby, Haribol. Appeared out of thin air. Okay. What's that? Tell me. How nice. Bolo, bolo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Swastino Govinda Swastino Chitananto Swastino Vasudeva Vishnudaratu Swastino Narayano Naro Vai Swastina Padmanava Purushottam Daratu Swastino Vishvakshena Vishveshwaraha Swastino Shri Shikesho Hare Daratu Swastino Vainayo Hare Swastino Anandamito Anor Bhagavatu Daratu Swasti Swasti Mangalai Kesha Mahanshi Krishna Sakti Ananda Dalaha Sarveshwareshwara Karotu Swasti Me Krishna Sarvalokeshwareshwaraha Karshnara Yashapurvantu Swasti Me Lokapalavaha. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhumi, welcome to your first grain ceremony. We're very happy to have you here and to be here with you during this ceremony. And Kesho, thank you. You look very nice, very first class Brahminical Paka Sattvik. And thank you much, Paul Mukunda, Prabhu Mukta, for just being such examples of devotees, how to be expert in everything and how to be good-hearted in all ways. And we're praying today, all of us here in this ceremony, for Bhumi. She already looks so nice. I mean, just so nice and sweet. So we pray in this grain ceremony that she may imbibe the spirit that you've brought naturally with you of pure devotion to Lord Krishna in a very specific way of serving the Sankirtan movement. And this first grain ceremony is so nice because it's at a time when the child is aware, conscious, moving around and so forth, and can show some indications. I mean, she's looking at me now and it's melting my heart. So, you know, we'll do this grain ceremony with the remembrance of Krishna that he's the one feeding us. Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Bahunam Yoviditati Kamam. Krishna is so kind that he feeds every living entity. But for those who are very, very fortunate, who come to the human form of life and then are born in the family of devotees, they get the opportunity to then demonstratively honor prasadam for the first grains as a kind of coaching by the parents and the community, but it's because of their own momentum from last life. It's the child's definite preference, we can tell by context. And so we'll remember Krishna by chanting the chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottam Yoga, which we're getting to know better than almost any other chapter, since so many children are having first grain ceremonies. The Gita Mahatmya talks about how chanting a chapter of Bhagavad Gita has special potencies. So that's there as part of the yajna. We've had the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra in such a beautiful tune. And now we'll have the chanting of the Bhagavad Gita. Within this chapter, we've chosen this because Krishna is a person. That's what this chapter is all about. He's personally involved in our lives, and one of the ways that he's significantly involved in our lives is Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva, that he's the digestive power. He comes as digestion. And so it's such a sweet gesture to take Mahaprasadam at this time and remember how Krishna is receiving. And let's do it together. Ata Panchadashamo Dhyayaha Shri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhva Mulam Madha Shakam Ashvatam Pahuravyayam Jandansi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedave Adashchurdvam Prashritastasya Shaka Guna Pravrada Vishaya Pravala Adashcha Mulan Anusantatani Karmanubhantini Manusha Loke Narupamasye Hatatopalabhyate Nanto Nachadi Nacha Sampratishta Ashvatamenam Suvaruda Mulam Asanga Shastrena Dritena Chitva Tatakpadam Tat Parimargitavyam Yasmin Gatana Nirvartanti Bhuya Tameva Chadyam Purusham Prapadye Yata Pravriti Prashrita Purani Nirmana Moha Jita Sangha Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama Vanveva Mukta Sukatuka Samjar Gachantya Mura Paramavyayantat Natad Bhasayate Suryo Na Shashanko Na Pavakaha Yadgatva Na Nirvartante Tadama Paramam Mama Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manakshastani Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati Shariram Yadavapnoti Yachapyukramati Shraddha Grihit Vaitani Samyati Vayurgandani Vashayat Shotram Chakshu Sparshanam Cha Rasanam Granam Eva Cha Adhishtayam Anaschayam Vishayanupasevate Udkramantam Stitam Vapi Bunjanam Vagunanvitam Vimudhananu Pashyanti Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha Yatanto Yoginaschainam Pashyantyatmanya Vastitam Yatanto Pyakritatmano Nainam Pashyantya Chetasaha Yadaditya gatam tejo jagadbhasayate kilam yachchandramasi yachchagnau tat tejo vidhimamakam gam avishya cha bhutani dharayam yaham ojasa pushnami chausadhi sarva somo bhutvara satmakaha aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashrita pranapana samayukta pachamyanam chaturvidham sarvasya chaham vridi sannivishto mattaksmitir jnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krid veda videva chaham Vavimau Purushau Loke Shada Shakshada Eva Cha Shada Sarvani Bhutani Kutasto Shada Uchate Uttama Purushastvanya Padamat Metyudarata Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Vibhartavya Ye Ishvara Yasmat Shadamatitoham Aksharadapi Chotama Atosmi Loke Vede Cha Pratita Purushottama Yo Mameva Masambudho Janati Purushottamam Sasarva Vidbhachati Mam Sarva Bhavena Bharata Iti kuhyatamam shastram idam uktan mayanaka etad buddha buddhiman syat kritakritascha bharata Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottam Yoga Nama Panchamodhyayaha Hare Om. And now we're going to, Bhumi, give you your first grains. It's Mahaprasadam, not to worry about anything. And can we have that tune back? It's too nice and we just want to keep swimming in it for a while.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Swagatam Su Swagatam.
Krishna,
Srimati Bhumi.
Hare
Time for your first grains.
Hare Rama, Hare
She likes to stand up. What's standing up?
Rama,
That's right. There you go.
Hare Hare.
Oh, you hold her, yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Sweet rice for you. Yum yum vapi. Not bad.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ta-da.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama. Hey Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Not bad. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Now we'll have the next part of the ceremony, and that is we've put the Srimad Bhagavatam on one side and Lakshmi Devi and her various representations on the other. And by this natural attraction to one or the other, we tried to make some prediction about Bhumi's future. It's highly interpretive science. And I'll be the judge. So, Bhumi, on this side you have huge stacks of cash and gold filigree of every kind. And on the other side you have Srimad Bhagavatam, beautiful pictures and the sweet sound of the spiritual world. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo. So please peruse and choose whichever attracts you most. Go ahead and just delight the hearts of everyone here and grab for whatever you want.
Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Put it a little closer. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare.
She's looking at both,
Hare Krishna,
surveying back and forth.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
We'll wait a couple more minutes. She's looking at the deities, offering the plate. She's offering an entire plate to the deities.
Hare Krishna,
Good.
Krishna Krishna,
You did good.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Yeah. Now Papa's happy. Get the shot. Good, Bhumi, good. She knows photo ops. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. She will live a very balanced life. She will, as we noticed, Nirkula mentioned, she's looking right at the deities when she first grabbed onto that plate. So there's a way in which she's inclined towards offering Krishna the best of everything in her life. And then when she posed for the photo with her right hand on the Krishna book, we can understand, as she's doing it again, that she'll have a deep yearning to hear Krishna Katha, and she'll be a leader in speaking Krishna Katha, distributing books and the knowledge of Krishna consciousness all over the world, and backed by a significant resource of wealth in her life. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please bless and empower our dear Bhumi, that she'll always swim in the ocean of the Sankirtan movement, being attracted again and again by Krishna Katha, Shri Shri Radha Mohan, and may she have all facility to hear, chant, and distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in whole or in part. Please say, Hare Krishna. Go Premanande Haribo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. I hereby pronounce this first grain ceremony, Bhumi, as a complete success. Haribo. Om Tat Sat. Vanchakalptarishya Kripasandabheva cha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah mantrahinam kriyanam bhaktihinam janarana yat pujitam maya devam paripurnam tarastu me. Hare Krishna. Nicely done, Bhumi. It was over so fast. And now we're going to, does either Bhakti community leaders or the Sankirtan want to make an announcement? Yes, please. Let's just take 5 minutes total, 2.5 for each team to make an announcement. And then if Hanspriya has anything she wants to say about the festival, then she can certainly join in.
Hare Krishna.
Dear devotees, we bring you Bhakti community, Pavani Bhakti.
Hare Krishna. I want to make a simple announcement and remind you all that we have a very beautiful website called bhakticommunity.com, and when you see newcomers,
if you can hear me, raise your hand. If you can hear me, say shh.
Thank you.
We're almost there. Go ahead.
We want to remind you that we have a beautiful website, bhakticommunity.com, and when you give books to any newcomers, please share them this website with them and ask them to sign up, or you can sign up on their behalf. There are only 4 small fields we ask for. And what we are trying to do is create a very simple, genuine environment. Krishna's love is there in everyone. We want to take them slowly in the process of Krishna consciousness, and we created a nice environment online as well as in person. Proof is really in the pudding to see how people have got benefited from this kind of arrangement that we have made. I want to invite Tori and Kennedy today to just speak a few words about their journey by coming onto Bhakti community.
Hare Krishna. So I just want to encourage everybody to provide Bhakti community to anyone and everyone. Don't make assumptions of who will or will not show up. I never would have imagined myself to be a spiritual or religious person. And it's all thanks to one very persistent book distributor that I'm now here. So I also just want to say Bhakti community expands beyond the Bay Area. I'm not from here, and I would not have the resource to attend anything of this nature where I'm from. So even if somebody says they're just passing through, even if you're just talking to someone at the airport, you have no idea what it is that you're giving them, because we're all so fortunate and used to this now, but it's life-changing for a lot of people. So thank you.
Hare Krishna. I don't even know where to begin, but being around the devotees, having the opportunity to come and meet you all and feel like I'm a part of the larger family, that's a kind of light that changes someone's life. And I don't know about you guys, but outside of the walls of the temple, this world can be a very harsh place. And so giving people access to somewhere they can come and learn the philosophy and find love within themselves to give that's inherently there, but also be able to receive it from incredible people like yourselves. It's a life-changing process, and Bhakti community gives it in such a simple, loving way. It becomes accessible in a way where walking into the temple for the first time, especially on Janmashtami weekend, might be a little overwhelming for a Westerner. But being able to step first into Bhakti community, it's the perfect bridge, and it's developed so beautifully. From day one, it was like I was part of Pavani Mataji's family. And then now I've stayed at their house before, and it just was this immediate, no questions asked, like, what do you need to develop your spiritual life? And now I know because of that that's what true love is. So definitely give it to anybody that you think you have no idea who's suffering in what way in this world. And Bhakti community can be a wonderful way to alleviate that for someone without you having to take the personal responsibility. It's the simple, beautiful, loving way to guide someone home.
Hare Krishna. Today we have two very unique events. This happen once a year. One is a Lebanese festival that Ananga Gopika Mataji, where is Ananda Kishore Prabhu? They've been preparing for the whole year to get a booth. And here, all the people who come, they speak Arabic. And there's a festival. So they've been preparing with huge quantities of books, prasadam, some mehndi, like they have nicely organized a booth. So request all of you to pray for them, that everything goes well as lots and lots and lots of Arabic books gets distributed, if you can kindly do that. And there's another one, there's another kids event that is going on today. They do this outing once a month, where kids from 2 to 12 years old, I think, right? 2 to 12 years old only, no older kids are allowed there. So they go and they knock on doors, door to door. Kameshwari is leading this effort, and she's taking everyone. And I heard there is very nice prasadam. Last outing, I heard there was bhel puri, and there was what pizza was that? Pizza roll. Yeah, there was a pizza roll. So kids, if you're listening, please join the team today. They go in the afternoon. So please reach out to Kameshwari if you'd like to go. And speaking of kids, I don't know if anybody remembers where we used to have Sunday Sankirtan, where we used to come to the temple and entire temple would go out on book distribution and come back right in time for Kirtan. So something similar is Manjari Gopika is leading something similar, where after every Saturday program, where kids are just running around in the parking lot, she just takes them around just for 1 hour. So I want her to share like quickly, and these are all small kids, but I wanted her to speak about it.
Thank you, Mataji, for the opportunity. I think going with them, I feel so much to learn. So one time we took Aradhya, Anvaya, Gopi Priya, those girls, and I could see they were, and I told them, you keep your own goal together and you can distribute that many books. So it was so inspiring that they came together and they distributed those many books. But one thing that struck to me was like when they were presenting, they didn't learn or they didn't watch us, but spontaneously they were prepared. And by their simple presentation, people, there was one girl who actually was shocked, like, all this, when they spoke about Bhagavad Gita. And then she was actually very appreciative, and she also gave them donation. She took the book, she gave them donation. And also, since Janmashtami,
Kishori, Geeta Priya, we are going like everyday flyer distribution. So I see they have so much fun. The kids actually, I think at least I can say Kishori enjoys more than going to the park. And the best part was when they, like even the people who say us no, we are not interested. But as soon as the kids approach them, they instantly smile, They bring smile to the people. And they take the flyer, then they give dakshina, and then we also give them Krishna book. Like one instance, Geeta Priya, she gave, and then she gave the flyer, and the girl got so happy, the lady got so happy, she gave $25. And then we didn't want to leave them empty-handed, so we gave them Krishna book. And one more instance I want to mention is we were going door-to-door apartment, and then me and Kunjri were there alone for that particular door. And then when the door opened, actually, there was a very scary person. And the room was also very dark. My first reaction was, I want to run away. But it was so inspiring. Kunjri stayed. She finished her presentation, no filter. She was so spontaneous. She didn't step back. She finished her presentation, got the Lakshmi, and came back. And I was like almost 2 steps behind. But in all these instances, one thing I realized is the kids are fearless, daring, and they're so blissful, and they share the same thing with others. And people are looking for that. And reminds me of how in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, why at least I think it just strikes us more. Why? Because they are also small kids, and they were preaching. Why Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad are attractive? Because little children preaching about bhakti. So same way, these kids, when they go out, when they preach, automatically attract the heart of people. Thank you, Mataji.
So many venues today, even Western Sankirtan team has a lot of spots. In the interest of time, we'll just post it on the Weekend Warrior group. Please join. And there is spot in Cupertino, Fremont, East Bay as well. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I know actually Geeta Priya, we went to her home while walking Flickr, and she wasn't there, and we found out she's gone out to distribute the Janmashtami flyers. So thank you so much, Geeta Priya and Kishori. I also had another thought, Manjari, maybe you should take the after-school care. The parents have to pay $2,000-3,000 for that. We'll take it for books. All right, so we are all ready for Janmashtami. We passed our inspection yesterday. Hari Haribo. And now we have to pass another bigger inspection by keeping our neighbors happy. So let's come together and not block the neighbors' driveway. We also have a wonderful parking setup, everything. We have rooms that we want to set it up. So you will see that there's a lot of activities that goes around. We want to make sure that we put away at the right place, and we keep this premises very spotless clean, because everything in this temple, the temple hall, parking lot, even the bathrooms, everything is extension of the altar. So it should be, I remember one thing Vaisesika Prabhu mentioned in the class, that how you see things are the reflection of what we think inside. So if you see something laying around, you want to ask yourself, is that my reflection? Is that what I am? Is that the paper thing that I can lay it around in Krishna's altar? So let's just have this mood. I'm not going to give you the big categories of the things that we need to get it done, right? This is our temple, is our guests, they're coming. And they are Srila Prabhupada's guests and deities. They're coming for this amazing experience, that they want to know who we are, what we do, what is our sampradaya. And each of you carry that flavor in your heart, right? This is your opportunity to give it to them, okay? I know I would also like to sit here the whole time and enjoy, but I think we have 364 and half a days, and they have only half a day. So we can be a little bit more sympathetic, merciful, kind, compassion, and help out your other brothers and sisters, those who are engaged in the service. Just share your love. This is a really good time to be bonding, right? We want to practice everything that we've been learning for the rest of the days here. So let's come together as a family of Srila Prabhupada, carry the mood that Vaisesika Prabhu has taught us. Let's implement and just open our hearts and express your love and be the ambassador of the goodwill that you can. And just make sure we all can take it to the premier level. Let's tweak it a little bit more, okay? And take it to the premier level. Hare Krishna. Vaisesika Prabhu, would you like to add something, please?
I was just trying to make an acronym of take it to the premier level. Just thank you, Hansapriya. You're stalwart. All these festivals, just seeing you so absorbed in all the details so you can offer something that's super excellent and at the premier level to Krishna and all the devotees is heartening, to say the least. And it's really the heartbeat of our whole community, these festivals that you've been putting on for many, many, many years. So we're all eager to see how we can cooperate and do the best we can, make a presentation for the good-hearted people who are coming here from various places around Silicon Valley. I find it to be the best of the best crowds that come here, the people who just want to see Krishna. So our main theme is to be warm-hearted, nice. Even as we're moving the crowd along, we should be respectful and think these are great devotees. They're coming here to see Krishna in all circumstances, not just we're moving crowds, but they're individuals and they all have a life and an awareness of how we're treating them. So now's our chance to bring lots of people together, and as you just so aptly mentioned, what we carry in our heart, let's share it with them. And Sunday's going to be a big day too, right?
Yes. Tomorrow we are, many other temples in Bay Area are celebrating Janmashtami. So we are anticipating around 1,000 to 1,500 visitors as well. So we respect, we want to give that same experience as a Janmashtami, because they might be living far, they might be having small kids. So it's kind of nice that it gives us a little bit of extra stretch before we run the marathon. So it would be wonderful if we all can also receive them, give them a space, and give them prasadam, and then let them enjoy the Kirtan, let them get observed in holy name. So it's going to be wonderful, wonderful tomorrow, because you get to also enjoy day and a half of Janmashtami instead of just one day.
It's a kind of a warm-up for us, right?
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you very much, Hansapriya.
Hare Krishna. Quick parking announcement for our regular congregation member. If we are going to park where I'm going to tell you park, then we are going to really help all the newcomers to park, and they can have a good experience. So for our regular congregation member, we have talked to the nearby business community here, the Petco, the FedEx, and the O'Reilly's, where we have usually has been parking. So please, if you're coming in the morning for Mangala Aarti on Monday, please park at those spots, because what is going to happen, there are 70 plus spot is there. And if you're going to use that one, so that means the whole, this street, throughout the day, it will be available for the fresh, those who are visiting us the first time. We have made enough arrangement for those visitors, those who are coming for the first time. But then another request is where we are not supposed to park. Please do not park in the school, because school serves us as a local where people can walk to that location. Freshers, those who are first time visiting. So if you are going to park your car, that means you are basically stopping 20 people to taking a darshan. So for one day, please do not park in the school or in the nearby street. Only in that 3 locations, plus in the afternoon, after 4 p.m., you can park to the senior center location. Senior center is 100 plus parking is there for us, so we can park it. It's a public parking, so they're fine with us parking there. So if all of us can follow that regulation, request, that is definitely going to help. For the externals, for those who are coming for the first time, we have made arrangement. Luckily, the Atrium Business Center, which is we have been using for many years, that is available for us throughout the day. So we can start parking at 10 a.m. We can ask them directly to go 10 a.m. And they can use the street or to the Atrium Business Center till 4 o'clock. And after 4 p.m., school will be open. We have a school, almost 150 plus parking is there in the school. There are 2 schools actually connected to each other. So that parking we are going to use also. And then also we are having a ring stop, our Mountain View Community Center. That parking spot is also there. So we are going to run the shuttles from our Atrium Business Center, then also to the community center, but not from the school. So if you follow these guidelines, I'm going to send an email also. Please, for one day, just commit not to park on the street and not to park in the school. Just follow that one day. I think you're going to really help all the newcomers getting a seamless experience. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Me and our team we have 60 plus people who are going to help with the parking arrangement. So thank you very much.
My special acknowledgement to Radha Kripa Prabhu. These festivals are underpinned with extremely hard work in getting permits done. And it's harrowing work because we're dealing with people, and we never know when some city official's going to say yes or no. And the devotees headed by Radha Kripa Prabhu who go and get the permits and the signatures and schmooze and make sure that we get what we need are the unsung heroes of the festival. Thank you, Radha Kripa Prabhu and your whole team.
Hare Krishna. I'm here for the kids' care that we will be taking care in the extended community center. We have rented a community center at the Rengstruff Park. So we earnestly request all the devotees who have kids and whose kids are not engaged in any services, please have them checked in. Govind Charan Prabhu, he has sent out an email with the link to the kids sign-up form. And it's highly encouraged that you please sign up, because on the spot, we will not be doing any registration for the safety of the kids. And secondly, we also have to account for the prasadam. There's a whole team of Matajis preparing very nice prasadam for the kids. It's ISKCON. So please reach out to me. My name is Ananga Gopika Devi Dasi. We have next 2 days. And any questions you have regarding kids care, the care will be given from 5 p.m. all the way to 9:30 p.m. in the kids center, in the extended community center. And then we will have a shuttle running, which will very carefully bring all the kids back to the temple. Then we'll have 2 rooms behind, Krishna room and Balaram room, where we will be taking care of the kids. Last time we had henna for all the small girls, and all the boys had a movie night in that. And at 12 o'clock, all the parents, when they're done with their services, they can check out their kids, bring them for aarti, and give them prasadam if they are slept, So please allow us to serve all your kids. We are looking forward. It's a whole team. Govind Charan Prabhu, as everybody knows, he has planned amazing games. We have Abhishek there. We have Tug of War, all Krishna games. We have Treasure Hunt being planned by Prem Nam Prabhu, Tulsi Bhakti Mataji, and we're going to play Govardhan Leela, and it's amazing. I just don't want to spill the beans here, so please, please let me know. I'm from Janmashtami planning team serving under Hanspriya Mataji. If you don't see me around, my other teammates are there, Vinod Harigopal Prabhu or Prashant Prabhu. Please, Hare Krishna. Happy Janmashtami.
Thank you, Ananga Gopika, and your whole team, and Govinda Charan Prabhu, because I'm thinking, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was asked during a feast, which is the best preparation, he said each one is better than the next. And then I love this cooperation, the teamwork, and everyone doing their part so that there can be a clear path for thousands of people come and see Krishna on his birthday. Thank you very much for all you're doing, and to your whole team. Haribol. And now we have announcement, who's the cooks today? Yes? Say what?
Welcome back, Raman.
We'd like to welcome back. We've for some reason, Shunyayatam Jagat Sarvam. We didn't know why, but the universe felt void, and it's because Ramananda Saka Prabhu went to take care of his dear parents for a little while. We were feeling your separation, but to see you smile now that you're back is really enlivening and lifts us. See, now you stopped. Or you're trying anyway. You're so serious. So thank you for all that you do. Well, you were conspicuous by your absence, and we're especially happy that you're here right before Janmashtami, so we can all celebrate together. Welcome back. Come on, Ramananda Saka, give it up. Okay.
We have one more thing. So this is the bliss of ISV, you know, nothing ends. So please bring Mukharvinda Prabhu. Please make your entry on your birthday.
Haribo.
It's Mukharvinda Prabhu's birthday. He's a very humble, quiet, and his service attitude, I mean, it's just amazing. He inspires each of us. He's also have dedicated completely to just serve ISV and his Guru Maharaj. We are very, very grateful to have your association at ISV, Mukharvinda Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mukharvinda, Hare Krishna. Whenever there's complexity, and there usually is, and then I see you come, are you listening? I know everything's going to be all right, because you're the kind of servant that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that knows what to do before being asked. You survey the situation, you look and see the kind of background you come from, plus your complete immersion into Krishna consciousness has given you a special acumen for being expert in all different ways. Personally, you give me solace by the way that you serve, the way you take up services, and as an example, the book packing down in Los Angeles, which was the most arduous, although blissful, kind of service, but you've taken it up and taken it about 100 levels above. And you can see that in everything that you do. You've been here since the very beginning of ISV, and you represent the best of the best. So from my heart, I'm so grateful for you, and I know all the devotees here at ISV are especially grateful to you for your dedication and just your friendliness towards everybody, bringing so many new people together. On your birthday, may I lead a prayer, dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radhamana Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev. If you so desire, please bless Mukharvinda Prabhu that he may be one of the premier leaders of the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Please give him all facility, longevity, health, more and more resources, which seem to come naturally to him because of his intelligence for bringing resources. And may he always have the association of pure devotees wherever he goes, and a desire within his heart to hear, chant, and remember the Lord. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say, Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande, Haribo. Vanchakalpa tarubhascha, kripa sindhu vyaevacha, patitam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I just need one hug. Gaur Premanande, Hare Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Anna Paini can announce the cooks, please.
Hare Krishna. Today's prasadam was cooked by Hansa Priya Mataji and Shama Bhakta Prabhu.
Sharidat Vijaja Jodendriya Taheka Jibe Pele Vishayashagade Tarma Jivayati Loba Moisu Durmati Take Jeta Katita Sanshare Krishna Bado Doyamoy Kori Bade Jifajai Shaprashadana Dilo Bahai Shayanam Rita Pahau Radha Krishna Gunagam Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nitai Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nitai Ma Prasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sulpa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishrato Naivajayate Prasade Sarva Dukanam Hanirasyo Bhajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Buddhipaya Vatista Tvayopa Bhukta Srakanda Vasalankara Charchitaha Uttishta Bojino Dasa Stavamayam Jemahi Shuksham Prayushitam Vapi Nityam Badura Deshataha Prati Matrena Bhoktavyam Natrakala Vicharananda Deshaniya Mastatra Nakala Niyamastata Praptamanam Dritam Shrishte Bhoktaram Hari Abravit Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasad Ki Goda Premanande Nitai Goda Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Goda Hari Bol. I just want to mention that Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan and all the deities are looking especially beautiful today, and I just noticed how the garland team and the dressing team have coordinated together. Stunning. Well done. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Please come take prasadam. Be served today in the picnic area. Go straight out this door, take a sharp right, and go outside and you'll find it, I hope. Hare Krishna.